Eryk, good to see you. Thanks for taking the time to chat. You guys are coming off a 5-2 win over the LA Galaxy. You've scored 6 goals twice this year as a team, 5 against LA. I first want to know, what's it like to be out there on the field when you guys are putting up 5-6 goals in a game?
It's fun, especially getting 3 goals early. It allows us to control the game, control possession. It's a game we know that is totally in our hands. So I think guys, confidence wise, can just do things that are a little more adventurous in terms of maybe playing a long ball that you normally wouldn't play. Not forcing passes. So a lot of it is just kind of controlling tempo, and I think that's something we want to do more of as a team. And I think being able to score that many goals really helps us.
You guys have 4 players who've scored at least 7 goals: Jeremy, Felipe, Yaroslav, and Diego. As somebody kind of more in the facilitation of that, right? Like getting the ball up to them. What's it like to have so many players who can score goals?
It's pretty fun. You can pass it to any of the guys and know that at any time they can score. It's 3 of our center forwards, have 7 goals. So, it shows that we have depth as well. So I think it's a little of both that, if it's considered, a rotated group, you still have a center forward who's going to go out there and score goals. And, Valeri's, so good at what he does. And he's done it for so many years that, you ultimately give him the ball, and it's could potentially end up in a goal every single time. So I think it's good that he's still scoring the goals, he's still creating the goals, and having so many forwards that can just continue to score goals consistently.
You scored your 3rd goal of the season. Your first goal at Providence Park would be your first log slab. What was it like to get your first log slab? Obviously not in front of a crowd at Providence Park, but still to get that for the first time in your career.
All the guys were staring at me kind of funny when I was, running in the locker room. Huge smile, with the log, like, Eryk, like, what are you doing? Like, this is my first one, guys. Like, I'm so excited. They're like, what are you gonna do with it? Put it in your trunk? I'm like, no. And I started, telling all the ideas I had, and they're just like, oh, this guy's way too excited. But it's one of those things. My mom texted me as well, saying, hey, Eryk, you finally got your log. Are you gonna send it home? And it's just like it meant so much to finally get a log, seeing it as a tradition for so many years. And, guys like Jeremy, guys, like Diego, have plenty logs. Ultimately, I wish to have more. But, as I said before, you always remember your first. And this one was, a good one to have. I thought it was a good goal as well. And it was just, kind of a little of everything. So I'm excited for this first log that, ultimately just got to get all cleaned up now.
Yeah, what are the plans? Where is it now? Where is it going? What do you want to do with it?
I'm already in the works to try and get it, like refurbished, kind of, don't have the word for it, where it's, fully cleaned up. And, I'm thinking about having the guy sign it. I don't know if, they'll make more fun of me, but, it's one of those things that, I want to have, in my apartment or, in my house with all the other, memorabilia that I have of my career so far.
Very cool. You mentioned that you thought it was a really good goal. One thing that has stood out to me about really all of your goals this year, but particularly the last 2, is your composure in the box. Where does that come from in those situations?
A lot of it was being a forward in college helped. I struggled to score goals early on in college. And, once I started getting more and more comfortable in and around the box, it's kind of natural to me now to feel free that it's just, another part of the field. It's not a time to panic, and it's just one of those things that, I talk to Valeri, he gives me tips here and there all the time. And it's one of the things he's like, what, you're so good at it, keep doing it. And it's, he's always complimenting me on, things like that. So I think, that also helps my confidence when I'm in the box, not just panic, not try and pass it, maybe take someone on and finish as I did. But I think, it's a credit to the guys around me, but ultimately I think it was, what I've done so far in my career in terms of, playing as a forward before.
3 games to go for you guys now. Vancouver coming up on Sunday, a team that you guys know well. They've gotten to know Providence Park well. It's kind of their home field now as well. What do you guys need to do against Vancouver specifically to get a win and to send you off the right way in the final week of the season?
I think we need to come out the way we did. I think we started LA Galaxy so well that, they had to chase the game from the 5th minute. it's I think that's the main thing for us is making sure that we're putting our stamp on the game, making sure that we score goals early, and that ultimately that we control the tempo and dictate how the entire game's going. We've struggled a little in closing out halves, and I think that's the main focus for us is moving forward, knowing we've made the playoffs is making sure that we put in these 90-minute performances. I think against Vancouver, who knows Providence, I think we need to make sure we show them whose park it is.
Eryk, appreciate the time. Congrats on the first log slab, and good luck against Vancouver on Sunday.
Thanks, Jake.